From weathered back roads to the blazing edge of faith, this is where grit meets grace. Welcome to the place where truth ain't tame and stories burn brighter than the flame. This is the Gunpowder, Propane and Jesus podcast. Real talk, real calling, no polish, just purpose. Let's light it up.
So I want to know, what's louder, an explosion in the quarry or 5 kids fighting over cereal in the morning?
5 kids fighting over cereal in the morning. 5 kids fighting over cereal or fighting over a seat in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine that, working out there on the quarry, there ain't much room for being soft.
No, sir.
I imagine everything is hard, nose to the ground type of deal. How do you leave from that and then go home and find that soft side, but keep the tough that you need to raise the kids, but also find that soft side to, relate to them?
It was a chat. There's been a moment. I guess I'll tell you where I learned that from. I'll tell you where I got that from. I got that from my dad. I think my dad sort of helped me with that a little bit. Not really so much everything, but I had to learn to cut it off. There was one part of my career where I brought it home. Yeah. I did. But is where I started seeing it affect my marriage a little bit before I got in deeper of my other issues, that I had to learn to just cut it off. When I put the truck in park, I cut the phone off. Like, I'm not dealing with work, not here. But yeah, the rock business, it's roughnecks, buddy. You're talking about roughnecks out on the oil rigs, and you work in the rock business. I know y'all know Edward Carroll. Edward Carroll got a job at the quarry that I built on Edgefield for a little while. Edward worked there for a while. So Edward can tell you, it's some hot days, it's some cold days, and you got to have some thick skin because, you got the construction industry and you got the mining industry, and they're two totally different things, man. It's some roughnecks, but yeah, I had to learn real quick because it's high demand. Like, it is extremely high demand business. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of science that goes into it. There's a lot of structure that goes into it. It's very, very capital intense. Like, you're talking multi-million-dollars worth of equipment, not just $100,000 pickup loaders and stuff. You're talking, like, to get one started, you're probably pushing around $30 million.
Shoot.
Good. And you ain't even sold the first rock yet.
Yeah, the way my bank account's set up, I'm gonna stick to construction.
But I mean, I had to learn pretty quick that, don't take it home. Don't take it home. And naturally, my kids love it. Like, my kids are always, what did you do today, Dad? How's the office coming? When can I come out there and shoot a shot? And they all get mad because when Lily gets a stomach ache, she doesn't go to school. She goes to work with Dad.
They all want to get sick.
Yeah. So I had to learn pretty quick that, because it can get stressful, that you just got to have that balance. That was a hard thing for me for a while, but I learned that balance just to be able to say, and my vent too is my wife. We get to vent to each other, and we shut the door and we just vent and let it rip, and we go on about our way. But hey, I try my best not to bring it out.
And that's a hard thing to do. I know I was the guy that, I'd come home, I'd sit in the driveway sometimes for 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was too.
And that's a tough thing to break off when you shut the door of that truck.
It is.
And walk in that house.
And I tell you, I'd say that to about all of us. I mean, every single one of us in this room, Aaron starting off with doing your construction business, you working at the pool company, and you doing all this construction. As long as you got that freaking phone, it never cuts off.
Yep.
You got to learn how to have that balance. You got to.
One thing you just said, you go in the room and you vent with your wife. A year ago or a little over a year and a half ago, we started this, and I wouldn't talk to my wife about all the troubles at work because I didn't want to burden her with it, man. And it strained our relationship. And I would say probably 4 or 5 months ago, she was like, "What is wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm stressed the heck out, know?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Well, talk to me about it." I said, "I don't want to stress you out with it."
Exactly.
And she said, "You need to. Like, that's what I'm here for." So now I vent to her, and man, it's helped our relationship a lot. Just being able to vent to her. When I thought I was keeping her from stressing, I was holding all the stress and putting a strain on our relationship.
And that brings up a good point too, though, Aaron, because through my struggle and what I dealt with, a woman, there's 2 things. A man wants respect. He wants to be respected by his wife. He wants respect, but a woman wants security.
Yep.
A woman loves to know that she's secure. And that's the last thing you want to do is come home and talk to your wife and you start fussing and complaining. And she's like, hanging on, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. Do we got any money? Are we going broke? Am I going to lose the house? You know, so, yeah, I get what you're saying, man. But then you finally realize that she is your one.
That's right.
She is the one that helps you figure out, you know, all right, it ain't so bad. You know, I need that. You got to have it.
Sometimes that's all it takes is just saying it out loud, and it helps you. You're like, all right, well, that's not that, like you said, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that about your wife being your, being your supporter. I saw something the other day. The Greek and Hebrew word, a lot of men see, a wife as supposed to be your servant or a servant.
Yeah.
The real Greek and Hebrew is actually more it's more in depth. It's actually like she's supposed to be your uplifter.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And she's supposed to be who you fall to. She's supposed to lift you up when you are down, and she's so yeah, that's.
But
that's
as men, man, we get so prideful. Like,
Yeah.
well, I don't need you to do. You don't need to worry about. Because my one thing that I want to make sure that's like, God's not number one naturally, but my wife's happiness and my wife's peace. I mean, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my kids and everything else, right? But I don't ever want my wife to feel like she's got to be stressed out or worried or whatever. But yeah, so in the rock business, man, you got any business, you got to learn how to cut it on, cut it off, and flip the switch when you need to flip the switch. Because you love your kids one minute and you just want to whip their tail the next.
Yeah,
I know that's real.
So tell us about this 140-acre farm and 40 cows and your rodeo life, man. This is what I want to know
So
about.
my rodeo, I wasn't really big into the rodeo as much as my kids were. My kids were more the rodeo kids.
Are y'all going to the pro rodeo thing up here in Hepzibah?
I don't know if we will. When is that? That's the last weekend of the month, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Me and my wife are leaving, going to Lubbock, Texas for our anniversary.
Look at you.
He said, nope.
We're going to. Now don't hold me. Don't hold this against me. Any strong anti-country music listeners here, but I'm going to the Zach Top concert.
There you go.
I'm going to watch Red Clay Strays.
I love Red Clay Strays.
And me and my wife are going to the 4 Sixes Ranch.
There you
and
go.
going to a horse
Nice.
sale down there.
Cool deal.
For the weekend, yeah.
You pick
So we're
you pick the
Taylor
underwear you're going
Sheridan.
to throw up on stage at old Zach Top.
No, I don't normally wear a lot.
For y'all
like
for y'all that can't see, John just got excited.
I'm not wearing underwear either.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You were talking about your radio careers.
But the rodeo thing, so how rodeo got
rodeo.
So how the 100-acre farm or so happened was I was traveling down.
I don't know what that noise is.
Was that an airplane or a helicopter?
Must be.
See Huey.
Is that the trumpet sound?
Yes, Lord.
Here we go. I was traveling that way one day, and I was stopping by Vulcan because during that time I was consulting and I was trying to get into selling product, GET and stuff, and trying to think of a secondary income and how to be more versatile. And I was traveling through there, and I seen the farm for sale. I was like, man, I want this. Because when I grew up in Virginia, I did some farming with my stepfather at the time, and I worked at the feed store, and I rode horses, and I did all that in high school, and I loved that life and all. I was like, man, I want this. I really want this.
It's a beautiful piece of property.
Yeah, it is.
It is. And I'm so blessed because I'm going to tell you something about it. Man, when I went after this thing and I bought it, my wife never even seen it. I put a contract on it. She hadn't even walked through the house.
Uh-oh.
That's fate.
You went back to that servant mentality.
So I told Kara, I was like, Kara, she's like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, okay, here we go. And we bought it. And I remember traveling down through there. I almost didn't get it. Like I looked at land in Edgefield. I was a 100-acre tract in Edgefield I almost bought.
Yeah.
I mean, I was trying to get close to victory. I was consulting. I was traveling. Let's get close to victory. Let's, find some land. But, we couldn't find nothing. And I landed that spot. And I called the guy up. And I said, hey, this is what I want. I'd like to buy it. We started doing the negotiation. And, man, it almost got to a point where I didn't think I was going to get it. I didn't. And I'll never forget, I traveled through there one more time. And before the hurricane hit my place, there was a spot in the fence, and I pulled up in the cow pasture in the pecan orchard, and I prayed. And I said, God, if you give it to me, I'll use it. If you give it to me, I'll use it. And lo and behold, he did. And, you know, I've had kids' high school graduations there. Aaron and them came in, man, and just did a phenomenal job on inside of one of my barns. And I've had a wedding there. I'm
Young adult wedding.
Yep,
Yeah.
young adult. What was that? What was the couple? Laura,
Man.
Tyler and Lauren.
Tyler.
Tyler and Lauren came there and got married there. You know, they had we had a big wedding there, and CT came, and that showed me, God, I just want to keep using this. And then we had a young boy graduate high school, and he had his high school graduation party there. But I tell you another reason why I bought it was where I was living at. And this is not to sound boastful or something, man, but did you ever go to my house in Chapin?
Nope.
So I had a 4,600 square foot home on the lake in Chapin. 6 bedrooms, and 6 baths. Every kid had its own bedroom. Every kid had his own bathroom.
That's the lap of luxury right
And
there.
I sold it.
That's right.
I wanted to take away the convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the life we were living was, hey, look, what are we doing for dinner? Oh, we'll just go to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Hey, what are we going to do here? I got to run to the store. What are we going to do now? We're going to go here. We're going to go there. It was convenient. Everything was convenient, you know? Well, the farm took that away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's nothing convenient out there.
Nothing. And that's what I wanted. You know, I wanted my kids to learn hard work and taking
Right.
care of stuff and reaping what you do, you know,
Yeah.
and looking back and say, hey, I did this and I did that. But the biggest thing is we're not going to town to grab a cheeseburger or a chicken sandwich. We're fixing dinner.
Right.
We're eating at
As
home.
a family.
Yeah.
We're eating around the table. And I'm telling you, those are I'm going to get on a little bit of a rant. That is what America is missing today.
Yeah.
Amen.
Is
100%.
dinner around the table with your family.
Well, we've been trained to give it to me now
Yeah. So impatient.
mindset. Yep.
I mean, these things right here that we carry around, patience is what's ruined us. I
Yes.
mean, we go to a fast food restaurant and it's fast food. And if we don't get it in 5 minutes, we get mad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We turn into Karens.
Yeah.
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 So I bought it for that purpose, and I bought some cows with it, and we started working it. Didn't know nothing didn't know a lot. My family didn't know a lot, but we got to learning it and got to working it, and it's a lot. It's a whole lot. The old house needed some work. Aaron and them came down and helped me out on a few things around the house, and started fixing it up, and we enjoyed it. And how the rodeo thing came along was I always loved it. You know, I just always have.
Before we get too far, let me interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Before we get too far and get in the rodeo. So when you called Aaron, was that before or after you got bit by the electricity?
After. I've had 3 close life taking calls in the last, 6 months, 7 months?
Yeah.
I got electrocuted,
Like bad.
like bad.
Yeah.
Explain.
Okay. So
I got a
I got Aaron to come
Forget
redo.
this new format. I'll edit. we're on a roll too
Hey,
much.
so I got Aaron to come out and look, thank you
For what?
for being there and coming and doing the work. But
Did he say hold this?
but you know, so the electrical incident was my wife wanted to redo the kitchen. Well, I can do this myself. That was my mentality. And I did a pretty good job.
He did. It looked good.
And so I bought some laminate countertops and a new sink, and I was doing backsplash in the kitchen and all that. And I cut all the power off. It was during the wintertime. I cut all the power off. I checked all the receptacles except one. And I was going through there. I was seeing I put lighting under the cabinets. Man, I was proud of myself. And I got to the last one, and my hand, you see, I can't bend my finger.
Dang.
I can't bend my finger. I can ball a fist up. I'm starting to get better with it. But I got to the last receptacle, and I pulled it out. And I grabbed it, and I pulled it. I'm like, all right. So when I looked at it, I said, man, this guy's got this thing wired different. That ain't no big deal. Screwdriver and a pair of pliers.
So you grabbed it out with your bare hands
Yep.
and didn't get electrocuted at
Nope.
that point.
Well, come to find out, that receptacle was tied into the breaker for the living room.
Oh, oh.
So it wasn't him; it was the guy before him.
Yeah, it was the old man, the old doctor that had it before me. And I grabbed my pliers and my screwdrivers, and I grabbed hold of that thing, and it did not let go.
Oh.
When I mean it didn't let go, like it locked me down. My wife's in the living room because during the wintertime, and the kids were out of school, so she was doing schoolwork. And I remember hollering and locking up. And when I locked up, I just fell. And the last thing I remember saying was, "Don't touch me."
Yeah.
Because that's the last thing. You don't touch nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my wife screaming and running over there, and I'm laid out in the middle of the floor. You know, my kitchen ain't real big. My house is not some big Yellowstone thinking, house. It's small, simple, and that's what I love.
She didn't get on the phone with the insurance agent.
Good thing my life insurance was up to date. And I get up, and I'm trying to get myself together, and my whole hand is busted open. And I said, all right. And I did like that, and I couldn't move my hand. And it burnt my arm. It burnt my hand up.
Do you bleed from an electrical shock
This
like
did.
that?
Well, at first it didn't.
Yeah.
I opened it up, and it was like white bone and ligament. And I'm like, golly, here we go.
So it like literally blew out
It
the
blew
electricity.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blew out.
That is crazy. What are the other 2 episodes?
Wrecked my truck twice. Not
Are you
my
a
fault.
bad driver?
Not my fault. Not my fault. Because both times my wife were you on the phone?
That sounds like mine.
That's gonna be the first thing mine asks me.
So I bought this truck, man. I bought this truck, and I hadn't had it a month. I was just telling them out there about it. Hadn't had it a month. A young college girl in Milledgeville ran the stop sign, and I hit her hard. It bent my frame. I was more worried about the girl because, you think 19 years old, that could have been my daughter.
Yeah.
Because if I show you the pictures, like I hit her right behind her door.
Oh,
I put her back door in the middle of the car.
good Lord.
And I'm driving a 2500 pickup. Like it's a big rig. And truck was out for like 3 months, getting the frame and all put on it. Finally got my truck back. I rigged her out, ranch hand brush guard and bumpers and headache racks and all, man. I'm good. I'm back at work, got my truck back. And I'm driving up Highway 41 out of Barnesville, following a tractor trailer. And the tractor trailer runs across the yellow double line, hits a Dodge Dakota. Dodge Dakota hits the ditch, overcorrects, comes back, and hits me square in the front of the truck.
Daggum.
This happened 2 weeks ago.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
And it hit it so hard, it snapped my ranch hand brush guard, twisted my axle. Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Tore up.
Time to get rid of that truck.
You think about that, but what had happened had you not had the wreck beforehand that made you put the brush guard and all that stuff on there? Could have been a little worse.
And you think about those things, and it's just another reminder how fragile life is.
Yep.
Because I'm sitting there looking, and I'm doing my 12-point check, right? I'm making sure I got everything I need.
Nothing's bleeding. You come with everything. You're leaving with everything you came with.
And then I walk down the hill, and I look at this little 10-year-old girl. And I'm sitting, and the whole front of their truck is gone. Like the whole front of that truck is gone. And I'm like, what a blessing. Now the truck driver that drove across the line, I was telling them it was about 5 years ago, me and that old boy would have been rolling in the middle of the street. You know what I mean? Because he never checked on them. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk bad about folks, but it's fortunate. Nobody really got hurt. The man did go to the hospital, but he's fine. Just going through all the insurance hoopla now. So
Insurance is a ripoff, man.
So I did. I had a couple close calls here lately, and the year before that, my son backed over me with the tractor.
That's why your face
I
is
remember
like
that too.
Yeah.
Is that why your face is like that?
Yeah, I was standing at the back of the tractor hooking up the drag, and my son popped off the clutch, and he didn't hit the clutch fast enough.
Oh,
and the tire sucked me in.
Ooh,
Yeah.
the Lord's protected you through a pretty good bit.
And I think about that, and I think about what I was doing at one time in my life,
Yeah.
and I ask myself, why? Why me, Lord?
why do we deserve that grace?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's where I'm at.
like we say, if God's still letting you breathe, He's got a purpose for you.
Exactly.
And if He's protected you through all that, I mean, I know there's some things in my life that He's definitely protected me from. And, it may just be one person that He has us at some point in our journey that you're going to cross paths with, that you change their life completely.
Exactly.
That may be why He saved you from all that.
Yeah. And it was weird because when I'd got a call from a pastor down the road, he's like, hey man, I want you to come speak at our brotherhood thing at the church. I was like, okay, all right. I ain't never done. It's been a long time since I've stood in front of a crowd and preached, or not really preached. I've never been called to preach. I'm not a preacher, but to give and speak. Because at the high school, Victory, I've spoke to the high schoolers multiple times. I've been to the mission. I've been to the nursing home. I've been to all those places. And I went dark for a while, and I needed that. And maybe this is it. I don't know.
Amen. Well, I'm glad you got to come this morning. It was pretty awesome.
But the rodeo thing, back to the question was, you know, my kids got an interest in it. And we said, hey, y'all want a rodeo? We went to a Greensboro rodeo, and they had a kids thing. You just sign up. And my boy, Kenny, was like, I'm going to do this. And he got on that son gun. He rode her 8 seconds. First time he ever strapped to the back of a bucking steer. And he was hooked. And then Bowdy got on it. He rode her, and he got hooked. And we started rodeoing for a couple years. Junior rodeo, just small, simple, nothing fancy and all that. And they just got into it. But the thing around here, it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of Saturdays, Sundays, you know, a lot of that. And
who's better at it, Kenny or Bowdy?
Depends on what category. Now, Bowdy, he's a rough stock kid. If it'll spin, buck, kick, and snort, he wants to get strapped to the back of it.
Man, I'm telling you, if you see Bowdy, he is a little short fella, but he is just he's a little man in a kid's body. He's a well put together little joker. I mean, he's serious. He's all business.
Bowdy.
Bowdy.
Now, Bowdy, he loves the rough stock. Kenny, he's more the horse guy. He loves working the horse and roping. He got second. He was reserve champion for roping. The last year we did it. And he loves the horses and the roping, and he's good at steer wrestling, grabbing the steers and throwing them around. So yeah.
Why do rodeo men get upset when you ask them if they won that belt buckle, barrel racing? Barrel racing.
Men don't barrel race.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I almost got beat up at church asking a guy that the first time I met him.
Men don't
I was like,
barrel
"Did
race.
you get that buckle barrel racing?" He like bowed up on me. I'm like, did I say something to offend? I have no idea. I'm like, barrel racing's pretty cool, you know. But
yeah, so the barrel racing is what they. I mean, there are men that barrel race, but normally
they're funny men.
but normally
they got a little extra sugar in the tank.
Yeah, normally your women do the barrel racing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Men normally stick to the roping and the rough stock stuff, but belt buckles are who you are. You kind of like a trophy, you know, you wear it with pride. And
gotcha.
You win it, you get to wear it. Like my son wears his all the time. I've never won one, but I've got some custom buckles that I've had made for me and certain stuff. But yeah.
When you get me a 7W.
7W cattle ranch. Yeah.
I'll wear it.
I'll get you one. I got a couple of them I made.
You got an extra big bull? You can make the belt for me too.
Yeah.
Now my son said he's got some out there that are huge, so I mean, he might be able to accommodate that.
Yeah.
Man, that is awesome.
But yeah, that's how the rodeo thing happened.
You know, I kind of want to shift gears completely a little bit and touch on a little bit about the things that's transpired this past week and just get your opinion and get your look into, you know, first we got the girl that was murdered on the train, man.
Yeah,
and out of that whole situation, what bothered me the most,
no one did a thing.
Nobody did anything. They all looked away.
No one stood in the gap.
Dude, they'd have had every police in Charlotte come get me to pull me off that guy. He'd have had to kill me to stop.
Did he get caught?
I don't know.
So
I seen a clips of that. I never got to see the whole story on that.
Dude, it was quick.
I haven't seen any clips. I've heard from my son and my wife have talked about it. And my question is, they were on like a transit or a MARTA
transit,
or whatever. What happened to the day where a man was a man?
Exactly.
Right? So that's a woman.
Yeah.
And a man is attacking a woman. And I know everybody said, well, you can't get involved, but you got to get back to the basics. A man is a man, as a woman is a woman. Step up and be a man.
Yeah.
And if you're not, I'm not a big guy, but if you're not a big guy, there's other people on there. You know, round somebody up real quick and let's do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a hard time with that.
Talking about that, did you see the guy that got on the airplane talking about Death to America? Bombing the guy that got tackled on the airplane. Look it up. There's some other nationality. I don't want to call the wrong nationality, but he was on the plane chanting "Death to America," die, 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 and they.
Now that's an older one, right?
Is it an older one?
I don't know.
I've seen it.
It's
You know
not
how you
terrible.
lose-
I mean, it's
We know how you
not
lose
like the last
feel.
week, but it's like a couple weeks or a month or so ago. I did hear about it. I hadn't seen a whole lot about it, but they wrestled him to the ground.
But you know, you're right, man. I mean, where are the men?
Yeah.
Where do we stand? You know, where's the man that's willing to take it?
Yeah.
To go fight. That's pretty.
I remember we were in Helen one time on a motorcycle trip, and there was several couples that went up there for that, and we're going out for the night or whatever, and you hear some hollering and back and forth, and it's like, hold up. You know, those senses kick in or whatever. And I start walking toward that door, and one of the other guys starts walking with me when he realizes that I'm going, and my wife says, "That ain't none of your business. Get away." And I said, "No. That's a man and a woman. Somebody's fixing to fight."
That's right.
And we called the law. He ended up jumping out of the second story hotel window to get away. I mean, it was, yeah. So, I mean, that was a real deal fixing to happen, but I don't know. I wasn't raised that way to sit there and watch that stuff.
So what do you, what you thinking about?
I don't know, man. I just, and then you see that and you see nobody respond to it. I mean, nobody does anything about it. Number one, like you said, that's a man. You're supposed to take up for the weak. There was a guy, like I watched the video, and there was a guy right behind him. He actually stood up, and I thought, oh, he's going to be the one. No, he looked, and he walked away. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're not going to do anything. They didn't even help her, let alone go after the man. Nobody helped this girl. I mean, you could clearly see blood on her pants. The thing about it
is that girl came to this country
to get away from evil.
To get away from evil.
Yeah.
And gets attacked by evil.
We're just so numb to everything now.
That is the pure image of Satan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
110%.
People are being taught to be numb to everything. Your little phone is all you need to be happy, and nothing else matters in this
that
world.
Right there has empowered a bunch of people that never had power to have a little bit that Satan has took and gave them a lot.
But we can also, you take that one thing and do twice as much.
That's right.
It's the
right
greatest
here,
and worst.
Right here, what we're doing can overshadow that if we do it right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we say it's time for us is not only men but as Christians to take a stand. Like, for too long have we sat back and not been very vocal. Like you got Charlie Kirk that just got shot and his life was taken. He was out being vocal and presenting God to the world, but he was doing it in a way like that most of the evil people, their reasoning is y'all won't listen. He listened.
He did.
He promoted conversation.
Yep.
And
what
yet
they
you take his
hated is
life.
he brought the truth back to them.
That's right.
He didn't run from it, and he didn't coddle them. Oh, you're so right. We're so sorry your feelings are getting hurt. He brought the truth.
Jesus, the Bible says, hate the sin,
Not the sinner.
not the sinner. Or
Yep.
something like that. I can't say it exactly. I'm paraphrasing there, but and that's what people don't understand. Like, you may be living in sin. I'm not hating you. I love you.
Yeah.
I hate what you're doing.
That's right.
I'm trying to reach you, but I hate what you're doing.
I saw someone make a comment, and it was so demonic. They said, well, what if I said, hate the belief, love the believer? I'm like, what kind of sickness do you live in?
Well, it's like what Cameron said a minute ago. It's not, used to we'd say, oh, well, that person's crazy or that person's got a mental issue or something like that. It's bigger than that. It's good and evil. It's Jesus and the devil. I mean, and you just said demonic.
It's an infection.
It's bigger than what we realize. And the bad thing is, if you look and you read the Bible and Revelation and the times are coming, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely, you think back, I was thinking back with 9/11 yesterday, over the past, 24 years?
Yep, 24.
I mean, it's been evil after evil, and it's not gotten any better.
Nope.
It's only gotten worse. The Bible does say in the end times it'll wax worse and worse, but it does also tell you that the Lord will pour his spirit out on the earth in the last days. And I have seen a lot. I mean, out of that huge crowd the other day where Charlie Kirk was,
That's right.
I would say 90% of them were there to support him.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen...
Which is the exact opposite of how that started.
Yeah, because before it was 90% that was denying, trying to deny him and get him out and talk bad about him. But now more and more people are saying, hey, this guy's standing up for the same thing we believe. We need to be there to support him. And I see more and more like college campuses where revivals are breaking out. And, we had a revival in the young adults, and we see in our church every Sunday that at least one or two people come to know Jesus. I mean, and we had a Sunday a couple weeks ago where there was, I think, 20 something people get saved. I mean,
But I tell you something else too that's crazy that you got to be careful with is the religion of even our religious leaders. You know, they get on this. They certain ones out there, you know, are just as critical or even worse than non-believers.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like religion can be wicked too.
yeah,
Right.
big
That's
time.
one of the devil's biggest tools is your own quote unquote religion.
Right.
Yeah,
And I think what we need to understand is that it's all about the position of your heart,
Right.
the position of your spirit. It's not about, you know, whether I'm doing everything right. I mean, not so much whether I'm doing everything right, but what's the intent of your heart?
that's
Right.
right.
Where's your heart lie?
What's your relationship
What's
with
your
him?
relationship with? You know, it's better felt than it could ever be told.
That's right.
I remember my dad did a twin study one time. So my dad's an identical twin. And it was going through that dark moment in my dad's life. And him and my dad, my mom were going through a divorce. And my dad had a young couple do a twin study with him. And my dad was sitting in the chair and this young girl said, well, what is your religion? What is your beliefs? What is your Christianity or Catholic or whatever you are? And my dad said, I do not have a denomination. She asked the question, what is your denomination? And dad says, I don't have one. He says, I have a relationship.
Amen.
That's good.
Amen.
I have a relationship. And that couple got saved that night. My dad led that couple to the Lord.
Amen.
Back then they didn't have like cell phones. They
Right.
had their back phone. And that couple got on the house phone, called their mom and dad, told them what they'd done. A week later, that couple died in a car wreck. I think it's all about the intent of the heart. Like you take that girl, you don't know where her heart was with Christ, whether she was a believer or a non-believer, but you look at that guy that takes an innocent life. And I don't know if they've caught him or not, right? I don't know.
I'm not real
Whatever.
sure. They know who he is.
And you're blowing this up and you're looking at it and you're like, why? You ask yourself, why would you do this? How could you do something like that? And then you ask the man, where's the man in the gap protecting and standing up? And I think I think it kind of boils back to where are men being trained the way they need to be?
It starts at home.
Are we being trained? Are we being, like you asked earlier in the podcast, are they being disciplined? You know, like what you're doing here, Aaron, is amazing. You got to have that accountability and you got to have that want to. You got to have a whole lot of want to. You got to be willing to take it on the chin, but throw it hard when you throw it hard. You know what I mean?
I don't remember the exact thing, but easy times make weak men.
That's right.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you said you wanted to get out of beautiful house, 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, one for each kid. You wanted to get back to a smaller house and a simple life and make them work and respect things.
That's right.
And that's where the difference is.
That's right.
It is today. I love my kids,
Yep.
my daughter, my son to death, to life.
That's right.
You know, but there's certain things, and I've tried to tell each one of them, think about the decisions you make because they're going to have consequences.
Yep,
you can choose your decision. You can't choose the consequence,
Amen.
right?
I use that all the time.
So I'm there to keep you from making a detrimental mistakes.
Exactly.
Some mistakes I'm going to let you make on your own because that's
Yeah.
the only way you're going to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's hard to do as a parent.
Yeah.
But, you know, people want to sit there and coddle them and not let them make a mistake, not let them fall down and see if they can get back up. And it's just, oh, well, we'll give little Johnny this or we'll give little Johnny that. And it's turned America to what we have today.
Thanks for listening, and remember, the smoke may settle, but the embers stay lit. This was the Gunpowder, Propane, and Jesus podcast. Stay tuned for the next part of this episode.